the way I would.
What's going on, guys? Greek Freak here, and in this video we're going to be talking about some breaking news, which is Andrew Luck retiring from the NFL. Now, I wish I could have got this video out sooner, but of course, me being in college, I just didn't have really the time when it came out, so I'm making it now. And as far as what we do know, we knew the fact that Andrew Luck was coming into this season already injured and only took 3 practices since April when he injured his calf/ankle. So in that situation, it was a big regard there as far as a red flag when it came to just that alone. Now, we already know the fact he's been missing many games as of late, and despite that, he did end up coming back last season, playing the full season, and with the most improved player of the year for the NFL. So obviously he was able and still playing at a very high level when it came to the level of which he was trying to play throughout the entire NFL season, and still showed the fact that he could still be the talent that he was, of course, being selected #1 overall. So whenever we sit there and we see something like this, we know the fact that the Colts really did depend on somebody like Andrew Luck in this situation, and dealing with those injuries at the very much from getting hit so often just really turned him down. Now, of course, like I mentioned, he did miss 26 games since 2015, and was most likely that he would have to miss games this season as well, due to the fact that he was already in pain as far as that going in there, and I don't see him going from not practicing to playing an NFL game on week 1. So in a situation like that, obviously he tried to take himself away from directly that type of pain, and in that consideration, despite of course having the good numbers that he put up last season, throwing for over 4,500 plus yards with 39 touchdowns, only 15 interceptions, and passing at a 67% completion percentage, which was the highest of his career. So whenever we sit there and we see numbers like that, from missing an entire season, he obviously didn't really miss a step when it came to his play, his actions, things such as that. But of course, when he announced his retirement, he did mention the fact that the injuries were just getting to him, and the fact that he told himself that he vowed not to keep on playing through injuries and having to constantly have rehab throughout the regular season and off season. And he said the fact that the only way that he saw himself being able to get out of that in this situation would be to retire and take himself away from the game of football. So, and he said the fact that it also took the fun away from him as far as from the sport. So whenever we sit there and we see that, it's obviously a very sad situation where we know somebody who plays at such a high level having to quit early into their career, as he was about to turn 30 in September. So in a situation like this, we know the fact that it's very huge as far as this situation and many other cases of it. Now, of course, I did make a video about this over a year ago, that I thought the fact that if he could have used his injury past as far as a leverage point against playing for the Colts in that situation. Now, of course, their offensive line did get a lot more better as he hit a career low as far as sacks and hitting sack percentages. It dropped almost down to 3% as far as his sack percentage, which is pretty good, and was one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, as he got sacked the least amount. But of course, in the previous years, having one of the worst offensive lines, being hit at such a high level and taking so many sacks, it just finally, your body just cannot take a pounding like that for a long period of time. So we definitely saw this coming as far as him constantly having these injuries, why that was happening. And of course, now it's just looking like he's wanting to live a normal life, and I can't see a real reason to ever blame somebody for ever wanting something like that. So of course, wish nothing but the best as far as his recovery. Of course, he still is injured from this calf/ankle injury, but of course, staying away from the game of football, he should be able to have a recovery between that and that, of course, pass. Now, of course, as always, I thought the fact that this was breaking news, and I'm sure this was breaking news to every person, so I don't really have a direct question here. I guess the other thing would be, how do you think the Colts will be affected as far as this next upcoming season? And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure that you guys leave a like and subscribe to become part of the Greek Army today. And as always, this is Sparta.